Okay, and it's the daily, daily, the daily, daily, Throwback Thursday.
Your show now.
Let's
Press
get real
1.
about
If you
relationships
unfortunately
Thursday. How
say
y'all
you
feeling, man?
press
I hope
Simply the
everybody
pleasure
is
you're
good.
calling back into a
Let's
live show.
let's
We are
get into it.
reconnecting you now.
Be all right. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna make it all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Do this thing, make sure the game tight. All right, yeah. Throwback Thursday is my day, and I'm ready to get it on this way. I'm glad that y'all came through. I'm here too, and we gonna do what we came to. Ooh, are y'all on this thing? Can we act like queens and kings? Can we put on a crown to make sure that we stay down and we don't really have to mess around? I am down with my crew, and that's you. I hope that y'all consider me crew too. Cause together we are much, much stronger. I'm making our days seem a lot longer. And make sure that we don't make sure the end comes to. I'm down with y'all, my friend. And tonight I'm talking about, yo, they stole my man, stole my girl. Yo, what kind of world? They stole my man. They stole my woman from me. Is it a real thing? I know that when we were younger, we talked about it. As we started to get older, we may have changed our views about it. But many of us may still feel like it's still one of those things that can be done. And I don't think that we're wrong for thinking that. Can somebody steal your man, steal your woman? Is it possible for you to push your man or your woman into the arms of another woman or another man? That's what we need to look at tonight. Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday on the Daily Go Get a Missing show. They stole my man or they stole my woman from me. Me. How could anybody deliver this blow? I can't believe that she left. Oh, but she did, yo. And there was nothing I could do. She was with another boo. And I was mad at both of them. You do that to me. You're never going to be my friend again. But this thing ends. It ends right here, and there's nothing I can do. You're no longer my dear. And I wish that this year was just like last year, because we was together last year, and I was happy. Ear, you, the ear, nose, and throat. I'm mad at y'all motherfuckers. That's the show that I wrote. Yo, this is a real thing. Somebody out there right now is losing a man or losing a woman to another woman or another man right now as we speak. And you know, when you're the one that's left out in the cold, the one that's left holding the bag, the one that's that somebody or nobody is in love with anymore, it's hard to convince that person in that moment that no, can't nobody steal nobody from you. Can't nobody steal your man or your woman from you. That can't be done. That is a consenting adult situation. If your man or your woman wanted to be there, that they would be there right there, and y'all would share the type of life that y'all built together, but they with somebody else, and you got to endure the weather, and it feels cold. You feel like you're getting old for this BS, and this is messy. And you would be right. You would be right. You know, this is not one of those situations that you want to be able to easily explain to somebody as if they should be on board with their woman or their man or their man or their woman or their girl or they dude, the lover of the it doesn't matter if they was the love of your life or the lover for right now. You know, when you have to bear witness to somebody that you were with, that you have spent time, effort, emotions, money with, when you have to witness them be with somebody else, whether it's somebody that you know, because when we start talking about they stole your man or your woman, a lot of times that could be somebody that's close to you, and that makes it a tougher situation. When it's somebody that was right under your nose, your friend, your your coworker, your neighbor, your sister, your cousin. There's no end to how slimy, how grimy, how nasty, how inappropriate it can get. Your mom. Yeah, it sounds very Jerry Springer-ish. Unfortunately, somebody out there has experienced this mess. I remember hearing old heads say, yeah, I used to mess with the mom and the daughter. And they used to be saying that shit like it was sweet like that. Yeah, man, you know, shoot, baby girl wanted some, I gave her some too. A nigga like me didn't really want to hear no more of the details, but they would give it up anyway. So I used to be wondering to myself, if you were originally in a relationship with the mama and then you start messing around with the daughter, and then by the stories that you're telling, now I don't know how much integrity that I should lend to the storyteller, but from the story that you're telling, you made it sound like like the two of them or one of them was all in with it. So did the daughter steal you from the mom? Or if you were dating the daughter first and then the mom wanted some, did the mom steal you from the daughter? I don't know. Is steal or stealing the operative word here? And that's what we want to talk about tonight on the show. Are we talking about somebody actually stealing something from you? Because when it comes to matters of the heart, the confusing part about a lot of this is that somebody can steal somebody from you and you can actually get them back. And if you get them back, you haven't stolen them from the person that stole from you. You haven't stolen it back. You just got it back. Trust issues are all up in the mix, because how are you going to ever be able to trust somebody that's still in the picture? Okay, if your man or your woman left you for somebody else that you found out about and y'all somehow work it out. For example, I'm aware of situations where you could call it regular cheating, but I don't know if it's regular cheating or stealing when who you found out that they were cheating with was somebody that you know, somebody that you knew, somebody that you interacted with, somebody that you were connected with, somebody that you may have been friends with, somebody that you may have had a direct had direct ties to, a direct line to, possibly had somebody on speed dial, somebody who was able to bear witness of what type of relationship that you were in, somebody that you may have confided in. So if you lose your man or your woman to somebody like that, and then somehow y'all are able to reverse that situation and get back together, will you ever be able to trust your man or your woman again, especially if that person is anywhere in the vicinity? If that person is anywhere in the whole makeup, will you be able to successfully put that relationship back together? Well, here's the thing. Even when the trust has never returned, some of those relationships have been able to go on anyway. So it's like, whether you like it or not, guess what? Y'all still gonna be doing the damn thing. Sometimes you have to move on in a relationship, move on with a relationship, even though the trust is gone. It's a messed up situation when the trust is gone, but the love is still there. Ooh, that hurts. Ooh, that's confusing. Ooh, that's a situation that you can't share or express to anybody else except for your therapist, because nobody else is going to co-sign that. Even people who have been through it before, they ain't going to co-sign that. They ain't going to make you feel good about that. People are going to tell you to get out from under the situation that you're in. Do better for yourself. That you deserve better for yourself. And you know deep down inside that they're right. Yes, you deserve better for yourself. But guess what? You ain't in a position to feel like doing better for yourself. So you're gonna hang out here for a minute. You're gonna stay here for a while. Unhappily together. And you may be less unhappily together than you would be happily apart. Or you are less unhappily together than you would be unhappily apart. Like being apart is just something that you can't fathom at that time. So that sort of highlights what having somebody stolen from you would feel like. That's what having somebody stolen from you feels like. Yeah. It feels more like a steal when it's something that you wanted to keep. Yeah, people can steal things from you that you don't want anymore. But when it's something that you didn't want anymore or weren't paying attention to, it may take you a while to find out that it had been stolen from you. You know how it's Throwback Thursday, right? Let's take it back to the days when you had a bunch of records. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, you know what I'm talking about. You know how I feel. You know how people would steal your vinyls, steal your albums, steal your 12 inches, steal your 45s. Sometimes you wouldn't find out that they had stolen them until it was time for you to play those records. So if you're a DJ, and guess what? This record is requested at this special event. Oh, I got this record. You going through your crates looking for the record, looking for your record, looking for the record ain't there. You know why the record ain't there? Because somebody that was close to you who really liked that record or needed that record, maybe it was another DJ, maybe it was a family member, maybe it was a girlfriend of yours, whatever the case may be, they took the record, they took the tape, they took that cassette, they took that CD. You don't have it. So it wasn't a case that you didn't want it. It was just part of your collection. But it was part of your collection, but it wasn't part of your selection of records that you would choose to listen to right now. But now you realize that it's gone. That doesn't, just because you weren't using it before, that doesn't justify anybody taking it from you. It's your shit. It's yours. Well, how do you think you're gonna feel about your man or your woman? How are you supposed to feel about that? Yeah, maybe me and my girl weren't on the best of terms. Maybe we weren't seeing eye to eye. Maybe we weren't treating each other like the loves of our lives at this particular time. Like during these last few months, these last few weeks, these last years, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't justify somebody who I was close to, somebody I was cool with, somebody that I know, peeping, calculating, going behind my back, talking, making, I'm having liaisons, meetings, talks, negotiations to get together. Then they get together, and now they gone. They gone. They gone. And shout out to everybody who used to steal records, tapes, and CDs from people that they know. Shame on you. For shame. For shame. Shout out to any and everybody who has ever gone over somebody's house or been in somebody's car and saw they record, tape, or CD in somebody's car, in somebody's house, whatever. Like, your name, you know how back in the day, if you had a lot of records, tapes, CDs, you had to mark them shits, put your name on it. put your name on the tape, CD, or record, and put it on the jacket. The jacket was the album cover. Put your name on that shit. If you a graffiti writer, that's right. Tag everything up. Don't have nobody running around saying, "No, it's not my record. That's not your record." Yes, it is, sir. That is definitely my record. You know, Nar says my Roger Troutman album with Midnight Hour on it. You know, back in the record days, let's hold on. We're gonna get back to people stealing your man or your woman and whether they can do that in a minute. But hold on. It's also Throwback Thursday. So let's take it back to the vinyl days, the pure vinyl days, not this expensive ass vinyl that these young people don't know nothing about. They're trying to get into nowadays. I'm talking about the record player, the Diamond Needle, the Technics 1200. I'm talking about the Newmark mixer, Gemini. I'm talking about when you would go to record stores in New York or Philly or wherever the hip hop scene was really, really popping, and you would get breakbeat albums, or should I say breakbeat records. They was 12 inches where you could cut up certain beats or whatever. It was essentially free. But there were also versions of certain records that, you know, you had like there were these exclusives called imports. And imports were like versions of records that wasn't sold in regular stores. And you weren't going to hear those songs on the radio. There's a version of Public Enemy #1 that's an import. I can't even find this shit on YouTube. You may have heard it before. You know when Flavor Flav is talking at the end of Public Enemy #1, you know, I'm Public Enemy #1. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 G G G G G. Yeah, that's right, Chuck, man. That's what you gotta do. You gotta tell them just like that. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something, man. These brothers running around here, hard-headed, you know, they get a little jealous, you know what I'm saying? They want to bring you down with them. But anyway, there's a version where Flavor Flav talks longer. On the regular record and on the album, he ends with because this is the 80s and we get all the ladies, and in the back we got a fly Mercedes, and that's just the way the story go. That's just the way the story go. But let me tell you a little something, man, and he goes on and on and on and on. That's on an import. You don't get that. You don't you'll never hear you don't hear that on the radio or whatever. A DJ who gets imports would have that version. There's also a version of some people don't like the way Sally walks. There's a longer version of that, and it's an import. So people over in London, Germany, France, Amsterdam, they would hear that song like it was the regular version. So let's say if a 12-inch album, if a 12-inch record costs, I don't know, $3 or $4, an import would run you about $10 for the same single, but it was that rare. So shout out to all my people. This is what took the long way of saying. Shout out to my people who have rare versions, rare copies of certain albums. That's why when somebody steals your albums, tapes, or CDs, it ain't sweet like that. Before the internet, a lot of records were out of print. certain record companies, startup record companies and stuff, they were defunct. So you couldn't go and buy those records anymore. That's why Napster blew up crazy when it first came out. Okay. Carol says, okay, I see you. 12-inch remixes like they want effects. Yeah, DOS effect. That exactly. So getting back to somebody stealing your man or stealing your woman, do y'all subscribe to that? Do y'all believe that somebody can steal somebody from you? You know, your ego tells you like, can't nobody steal nobody from me. Can't nobody steal a man or woman from me, because you feel like the only way that they could be stolen is if they wanted to go. Those are consenting adults. They got together. They did what they did together. Yeah, that might be the reality of the situation. Yeah, that might be the rationale of the situation. But when your heart is broken, all rationale may go out the window. It's time for your feelings. It's time for your feelings to take center stage. And your feelings might be telling you, yo, you no good snake ass bastard. You listen to me tell you, you know, some of the things that my woman liked and what she didn't like and how she was and some of the problems that her and I had together. And you used all of that to go and backdoor me and get with her. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's not what happened. But it doesn't matter, because that's the way you're going to be feeling. Because they ain't got no business being with your woman or your man. They ain't got no business being with them. You wasn't finished with them. Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Can somebody steal your man or your woman? Stacey White says, I do not believe nobody can steal nothing from you. I have seen snakes that try to do it. Okay. All right. TK Wright says, nah, they left because they wanted to. The other person left the door open for them. Mm-hmm. Okay. So y'all don't believe that there are any situations where somebody can be stolen from you. Okay. All right. Well, I think that these are all very grown answers. Have we always felt that way? Was there any time in your life where you felt like, nah? Okay. You know what? When I wrote up the show, I put certain cliches that we use to describe when we are protecting our territory. Protecting our territory. This is my turf. This is my woman. This is my man. This is my home. This is my shit. This is my way. This is my life. This is my day. Gotta pay the cost to be the boss, like my man James Brown say. May he rest in peace. JB. James Brown said, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So if you want to be the man of your household, you want to run things, you want things to go the way you want them to go. Well, hey, guess what? You got to go to work every day. You got to work hard. You got to bust your ass. You got to bring home the bacon. You got to be responsible. You got to cut that grass. You got to fix them cars. You got to paint them walls. You got to fix those faucets and all that kind of stuff. You got to be a man about it. Because the less manhood that you show, whether it's stereotypical or not, the less manhood that you show, the more manhood that somebody else will grow around you. Because the snakes are always going to creep in as the grass grows higher. So you don't want to cut that grass. You don't want to cut that grass. You're too lazy to cut that grass. You're too tired to cut that grass. No problem. Well, the snake's going to come in and they biting. They ain't doing nothing but biting, eating, and choking the life out of somebody. That's all. TK Wright says, still, nope. And I've always felt that way. Okay, cool. Stacey White says, the principle of the thing that hurts your ego, you mean hurt your ego? It's the principle of the thing that hurts your ego. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, that makes sense. Nonetheless, if we don't believe that somebody can be stolen from us, why did we do the things that would make us be a greater consideration if the choice had to be made? In other words, why do we compromise with our men or our women? Why do we do that? If nobody can, well, wait a minute, I'm about to answer my own question. It wouldn't be stealing if somebody breaks up with you and chooses to be with somebody else because you're not the type of person that has shown themselves to be somebody that they would want to be with. Okay. But other than that, when we talk about paying the cost to be the boss, or when we talk about what you won't do for your woman or your man, another man or woman will do. Have you ever spoken like that? Have you ever felt that way? Hey, when we started getting older and we started being introduced to certain sexual positions or forms of sex, let's say oral sex, because back in the day it wasn't like it is now. Every woman wasn't putting it in her mouth. You had to ask. She wasn't doing it on her own. And if you asked her, it might have taken a while before you were accommodated in that area. It ain't like these kids are nowadays. They do that before they ever start having sex. Whatever. I don't know if this is Catholic living or whatever, but nonetheless. So when oral sex started to come into play, if you knew or if you found out that the person that you're dealing with really likes that, but you're not willing to do that, were you ever worried or concerned that somebody else might do it? Or that they might choose somebody else to do it? Even now, have you ever been concerned that you don't do it well enough? And if your partner really likes that, do you think that they would find somebody else to do it? Like, you don't swallow. Your man likes to be swallowed. You know that is his girl before you swallowed. Matter of fact, they used to call her Nikki Swallows. Nikki Swallows. Gulp, gulp. She was a big gulp. He might have been gone from Nikki, and maybe Nikki has something that would get him back. Might not have been a steal, but it might feel like a steal. She stole him back. Only thing Nikki got on you is a pair of tonsils. A set of tonsils. That's what Nikki got on you. You might be prettier than Nikki, more money than Nikki, more upside than Nikki. But Nikki got she got the neck for him. You're a little deficient in the neck department. It's just an example. But it's actually a real example. Because when you're dealing with somebody who is shallow or who is susceptible to things that you might consider to be small, that's going to be more than just a miscommunication or a lack of communication or understanding issue. It could become the principal issue in your relationship that either strengthens your relationship or at least maintains it, or the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay. Nar says, if you don't cut the grass, Hector the gardener will. Man. Well. No, it says, wasn't it Sherelle that talked about things I miss at home? The thing about it is, when you're not in these situations, it's easy to talk about what's right or what's wrong. But when you're in those situations, when you're in there, when you're in the fight of your life, because the fight for your love is like the fight of your life. That's what it is. It feels like the fight of your life. You know, it's not an easy situation to be in. As a matter of fact, it's quite difficult. It's difficult. So what do you do? What do you do when you are faced with a situation where it feels like somebody has stolen somebody from you? By the way, by the time we get into this conversation of whether they stole from you or not, they're already gone. That's a big part of the real problem. They're already gone. We're not talking about something, we're not speculating over something that might happen. We're talking about something that has already happened. They already been doing the do. The only question is how long they've been doing the do. And the other concern might be, are they all the way out of the door, halfway out of the door? Have they just started messing around with each other, or have they completed the mission to the point where they have actually left you behind? Like, me and you don't go together no more, or I'm moving up, I'm moving out. It's a toughie. It's a toughie, but it's not a foreign situation. We're not talking about a situation that none of us have ever experienced. Of course, perspective is everything. So the way that we might perceive what has happened to us, for us, against us, around us, with us, it's gonna be interpreted differently by each one of us. Yeah. So yeah, they stole my woman from me. My brother stole my. I remember, some people have family members that are just grimed out. I remember, I remember, I remember hearing certain dudes say that they took their brother's girl from them, or their cousin's girl from them, and I was like, dang, it's like that. Like, I mean, he wasn't treating her right. You know what I mean? I took her from him. Like, well, was that worth it? At the time, it was. I'm like, because they not together no more. We're not talking about a situation where, you know, he where you broke up the family, divided the family, but y'all still together for love. Basically, what you saying is you had sex with your brother's or your cousin's girl. Yeah, and that's that. Nar says one way had a song called "Toast to the Other Man." Mm. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Toast to the other man. That's deep. Real deep, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they stole my woman. Stole my woman from me. Border things. Talk bad about me. God forbid I had something going on the side. They snitched on me. Straight backdoored me. Snitched on me. Oh, well, he messed around with such and such. He talked to such and such. He been with such and such. I was there when him and such was together. So there's deception, sliminess, snitching, lying, whatever, telling. All of that stuff is right here. It's one big gumbo. One big gumbo of negativity, nastiness. No, it says, why is that popping up repeatedly? What's popping up? What we talking about? See, I can't see. I don't always see what y'all see. And as a matter of fact, I never see what y'all see. All I see is y'all comments. I don't see any advertisements, or I don't know. So I can't even speak on what you're talking about, Nars. But I hope that it gets taken care of. I hope that it gets taken care of. What we talking about? They stole my woman from me. One thing that you ain't trying to hear, or the last thing that you might want to hear when you're in a situation where somebody has done something slimy to you, taken something from you, put you in a bad situation, in a bad mental and emotional state. You ain't trying to hear no rationale behind that. You ain't trying to hear how they might possibly be right in this situation. You ain't trying to hear that. Not right now. It ain't the time for that. Right now, I need only... Oh, wow. Right now, you only want people who are going to not necessarily co-sign the BS, but you only want to be dealing with people who are going to try to comfort you, bring forth some understanding, or bring a solution to you. T. Carey Wright, thank you so much for that sticker. Thank you for the sticker. I appreciate me some you. I really do. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, it's a difficult situation. You know, when you're in the middle of something, it's hard to see it from the outside like everybody else can. You know how, like, when you're watching sports, particularly when you're watching football, you know, when you're watching football and when you don't really understand the game of football, you always wonder how come the running back didn't run to this side instead of that side. Like, all of the coverage seems like it's on this side. So why wouldn't you just run to that side? You don't really realize that when you're on the field, you can't see that. Sure, with the camera above you, of course, it's easy to see that. But that's not the way you play football on the field. What it looks like on the field is a lot different than what it looks like far away. If you've ever had tickets to like courtside seats to a basketball game, or seats way down on the field, close to the field at a football game, it seems the game seems to move a lot faster the closer you are to it. Same thing with baseball. One time we had these tickets way down in the front, where we could like, where the players could hear us talking to them. And you see how fast the pitching looks. You wonder yourself, how do you hit a ball traveling that fast? And those weren't even fastballs. So we're talking about balls probably being thrown, somewhere around 70, 75, 80 miles per hour. When you get balls going at 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, what? How do you hit that? How do you prepare to hit that? But you won't notice that. You won't feel that on TV. All you know is that he missed the ball on TV. The closer you are to it, you realize how easy it is to miss that ball. And you may also understand the preparation that it might take to ever be able to hit a ball going that fast, because it happens, as we very much well know. That's the same analogy that I would use to describe when you're in a situation where someone has wronged you, where someone has done you dirty, where someone has left you, where somebody has betrayed you or has been dishonest with you. It feels a lot different when you're in it and experiencing it real time. So when people tell you that you don't really understand how I feel, they're telling the truth. We can try to empathize with the way that people feel about whatever they're going through, but when it all really comes down to it, we may not be able to see the fastball of their emotions the way that they see it. The curveball, fastball, the knuckleball, the slider. We can't see it. They can see it. They can talk about it. Insider information. Y'all know how it. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it go. When was the last time that y'all had to tell somebody like, were you there? Did you see it? Did you hear them? Did you witness it? Well, where did you hear it from? Oh, such and such told you. Were they there? Now put your emotions in the moment, on site, against witnesses telling you how you should feel, what you should think, and all of that. I said that such and such stole my girl. You coming with all that? No, they didn't. Your girl had to wanted to have been stolen and all of that. I know this. This is my girl right here. Here she is with me. And that's where she's been. You know where she is now? Over there with him. I'll redemonstrate. This is my girl. This is where she was just yesterday with me. All the way with me. You know where she is today? Over here with him. And the difference between over here with him and over here with me is I didn't see it move from this part to this part. There's nothing here. And the reason I didn't get to see any movement from here to here, or should I say from here to here, is because when you steal somebody or when you steal something, you don't let them see you go from here to here. This is all done in the cloak of darkness. This is done beyond the lights. This is done in the dark. This is done covertly, secretly, deceptively. Do you think I would have let her get from here with me to here with him if I saw her go from here, moving through here? She's never going to get there if I get to see her move from here. So I ain't trying to hear all that you talking about. Now, I've rallied against and fought jealousy, envy, and all types of negative emotions all my life. Sometimes there were certain times when it was easier than others. But I know this, I had to grow. I've seen some things that didn't look right, didn't feel right, didn't look right to me, didn't feel right to me. And I knew that they weren't right. There's some things that have happened that I'm still uncomfortable with, even though I have a greater understanding about them. It doesn't necessarily change what happened. How would you feel? How would you feel if somebody raped you and the charge was reduced from rape to sexual assault? Because there is a difference. There's a difference in sentencing, a major difference. Or from rape to molestation. Because molestation doesn't indicate that you were penetrated. So they were able to convince the prosecutors that there was no penetration, so it can't be a rape. It can be a molestation. He felt you on the butt. No, he didn't feel me on the butt. He put a dick in it. And you know it happened. But they're saying, nope, it's not what happened. How would you feel? Well, you would feel violated again. You would feel violated again. That's kind of how it feels like when somebody tells you that somebody hasn't been stolen from you, and that's the way that you're feeling. You ain't trying to hear that shit. You ain't trying to hear it. Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Thanks for coming on through. Good to see me, some you. And Carol Chamberlain, mi friend, mi favorita. So yeah, they stole my woman from me. Can't believe it. I took care of that bastard, helped him out when he was down, gave him money when he was broke, lent him my car when he ain't had no rides, rode him when he couldn't get there, made sure that I got him a job, made sure that he could get to the job. His broke ass couldn't find a job, didn't have no skills. I fixed all of that for him. Gave him a place to stay. He ain't had no place to stay. Meanwhile, the place that I gave him to stay was with me until he got on his feet. But he wasn't trying to get on his feet. He was trying to give out some meat, and he did. It might feel, in a situation like that, it might feel like somebody stole something from you. It's definitely going to be feeling like they're the winner and you have just taken a devastating loss. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Get a Mism Show. I said the Daily Go Get a Mism Show. I said the Daily Go Get Daily Go Get a Mism Show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. It's one of them things, man. It's one of them things. They stole my woman from me. They stole my man from me. If you really love your woman or love your man, you're deeply in love with him, it can feel like when they have run off with somebody else or somebody has taken them from you, however you choose to look at it, it can feel like your life went with them. You know, when you really love somebody, you think about building a future with them in it. That's the big part of it. That's the big piece of it. You see your future with them in it. They play an integral role. When you see love, life, the future, you see them in it right there with you, experiencing all the triumphs in life that you are hoping to have. You see them right there. When you envision your hand being raised in victory, you envision their hand right there, either holding up yours, you holding up theirs, y'all holding up each other's. We won. We won. Emily, she says, can a person be stolen? If so, I have someone that I don't mind someone stealing. But no, we talked about it earlier. That wouldn't be stealing if you ain't, well, it can be stealing if you don't want it, but if you promote the steal, how can you promote? That's giving them away. We ain't talking about if somebody gives you away. Stacey White says, it's a hurtful thing. Only God can heal your heart. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's a devastating situation to be a part
90
of.
seconds.
It's a devastating situation to be a part of, and it's hard. It's hard dealing with that situation when somebody is trying to tell you or convince you that what hasn't happened to you or what you're feeling about it isn't what you're feeling or isn't what's actually happening. It's like parents who used to tell they children, stop crying before I give you something to cry about.
60 seconds.
Stop crying before I give you something to cry about. Like, I don't know if my mama is either blind or deaf, but I know for a fact that I was already crying when she said that. Throwback Thursday, right? I don't know what's going on with my mama. Mama saw me crying and told me to stop crying before she gives me something to cry about. Well, Mom, you know what? I think I deserve a treat because I'm saving you a lot of work. All I got to do is keep crying. That way, you don't have to do the work of giving me something to cry about. Ta-da! I already did it. I'm already crying. I'm already sad. I'm already spoiled. I'm already your brat. I'm already there. I don't need you to make me cry again because I'm crying already, Mom. Yo, look at me. Yo, I guess I win. Huh? All I gotta do is boo-hoo. All I gotta do is bah-ha. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. I'm gonna cry right now, Ma. Yeah. Shirley Shirley says victory is greater with unity. It can be. It can be. So if your girlfriend, your co-worker, your neighbor, your cousin, your sister, your mom, or somebody has run off with your man, it's going to be hard for you to get to come to terms with it easily. Like, yeah, I guess I should have made breakfast, lunch, and dinner more often. Maybe I should have tried that new position. I'm gonna talk about this last situation, then we're gonna do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. Some people have been in deep trouble with they lovers. some women, especially nowadays, with all of this threesome stuff going on. Well, people have had threesomes out there, like, it's always been my fantasy. It's always been my fantasy to have sex with two women at the same time. Would you do that for me, baby? Would you just do that for me? For my birthday, for blah 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 blah. So they do it. They do it a threesome. And what happens 9 times out of 10? For any of y'all who know anything about this, what happens in this situation 9 times out of 10? So maybe you even chose the woman to have a threesome with you and your man. So 2 women and your man. Most of the time, it doesn't go over very well. The fantasy that he may have experienced is definitely way worse than you may have been experiencing. Because number one, maybe you're interested or curious about having sex with another woman, and maybe you're not. It's going to be a lot harder if you're not. If you are a totally straight woman, you get into that threesome and you do a threesome with your man, it's going to be nightmarish to you because you've basically gone against what you consider healthy sexuality to be for yourself. But the other thing that happens more often than not is the third party who you brought into that bedroom starts having sex with your man without it being a threesome. So you allowed and even invited another woman into your bedroom, and now they done got a bedroom of their own. Uh-huh. Did she steal your man? I don't know. It might be closer to what Emily was talking about. I'm gonna let you borrow him for a minute. Hey, you can hold him. Just make sure you give him back. You can borrow this sugar. Just make sure you get the sugar back. Use what you need and get back the rest. But yeah, so that's a tough situation. It is toughy tough. That's a tough situation. Now you're doing what you thought would please your man, and you wind up losing your man. Can you claim? Can you claim that somebody stole something from you? Some people might say, no, you gave them away. Well, okay. If I let you hold my car, if you tell me you need to borrow my car so you can go on a job interview, go shopping, go to the laundromat, take the kids to school, whatever. If you borrow my car and then you never bring my car back, you mean to tell me you haven't stolen my car? Where's my car? Well, you knew I was going to bring it back. You borrowed my car on Monday. It's Thursday. I needed my car Monday. Well, you ain't have to call the cops on me. You ain't have to keep my car. I'm calling your phone. It's going straight to voicemail. I don't know what's going on with you. Emily says, heck no. I don't want him back after he leaves. Laughing, but very serious. I understand that, but you understand the scenario that I was getting. All right, let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 12th. July. Damn, I'm already in the summertime, yo. Woo! January 12th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Hannah Batia. Yeah, happy birthday to you. And also my man Eric Spears, happy birthday to you, E. And going all the way back to the 1986, Celestine Bunny Ray. Bunny, South Philly Bunny, turning 53 years old today. And last but not least, my man James Daly the third. James Daly the third. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious January 12th. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember and see it this way and acknowledge and cherish the day. Don't go astray. Okay. Yeah. It may be true that nobody can steal anything from you because we are all human beings. We are free. We can come and go as we please. But you know, sometimes freedom can feel like bondage. Sometimes bondage can feel like freedom when it's something that you want to do. So whenever you lose something or whenever something is taken away from you in whatever form, when you have wanted to keep that thing, it's going to feel like it was stolen from you. It's really hard to accept going from first to second. And God forbid you should fall any further down in the ranks. It's not easy. Everybody may not understand the position that you are in or the way that you feel about it. And guess what? Nobody really has to understand. Because at the end of the day, you got to deal with what you have to deal with. It's all about you. So as long as you are down in the dumps, you got to get yourself up out of the dumps. You know, I wrote something on my page this morning. I said that you can't start healing until you start feeling better. And you can't start feeling better until you start healing. They're not exactly the same thing. Because you can start feeling better and not be fully healed. You can be on your way to healing. But the full healing process may take a while. You know, like all of my people out there who have had colds recently. So y'all had this cough. Now, first you might have been really sick, laid out, laid down, had to take days off from work. Then you started feeling better. Your energy was up. You weren't feeling as winded. But guess what? Those cold symptoms still lingered. You know, the cough, laboring to breathe, sniffles, phlegm. You were healing, but you weren't fully healed. Even though you were feeling much better. So you weren't in crisis mode anymore, but you weren't fully healed. The healing process can take longer than what what your symptoms are telling you. The symptoms can last a long time. The symptoms can exist even when you're not sick. But you'll know when you're fully healed because you will be absent of all of the symptoms. At least all of the symptoms associated with your original illness. Peace to all my day ones and my everydays and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Get It Mism show. I hope that y'all enjoy listening to this show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. I will be back right at y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right. And for my blog talkers, I'm going to get you out of here. Yeah.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
And for
Goodbye.
and for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Yeah. What? On the other side, my boobers. Yeah. On the other side, my boobers. Peace.